Hi guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to our March spring reset plan with me video. I love to do monthly videos where we just like sit down, chat, talk about our goals, talk about finances, talk about a little bit of everything. I feel like I'm always switching it up. Sometimes we just talk about budget, sometimes we're doing goals, sometimes we're answering questions. But today I want to do kind of like a spring reset video. So we're going to be talking about the past couple months, talking about February, our highs and lows. We're gonna be setting some goals for March. I'm gonna tell you a few of my favorites from the past couple months, and then at the end we'll do a little bit of a budgeting segment. I am so ready for warm weather, so ready for the spring. I feel like I had the winter blues pretty bad this year, and I just absolutely cannot wait to get into warmer weather and like be outside, go to breweries. I just feel like I really need that, so I wanted to set some goals and plan for the month ahead. Like I said, sometimes I set monthly goals, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm in the mood to plan, sometimes I'm not. It just really depends. This month I'm feeling good. I feel like I need a little bit of a reset after kind of going through those winter blues. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and stick around to see all the videos that I post. I try to post about twice a week. I work from home as a data analyst. I am planning a wedding. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's just a little bit of everything over here. I love taking you guys through my life and through kind of like a normal 20s, you know? The first thing I always like to do in these videos is look back on the month before and kind of just talk about my highs and lows. It's great for like personal reflection and to just kind of remember what we even did this month. February flew by. I feel like everyone's been saying that, but I know it is a shorter month with it only being 28 days, but it really did fly by. Today's the last day of February and I'm just like, how is it already March? My high for the month of February was definitely spending Valentine's Day weekend in Charleston. We went there for a wedding, and I'm obviously in the wedding season of my life, so I just really love weddings right now. I have so much more of an appreciation for them now than I ever did before. Like all the little details, all the little things that go into it, I appreciate and loved every single second of it. I loved celebrating their love and that couple on Valentine's Day weekend. Will and I got engaged in Charleston, so it was fun to be there again Valentine's Day weekend and just kind of let go. I didn't vlog that trip. We stayed at this like beautiful Airbnb. That was a really nice weekend. I didn't like stress about work. I didn't stress about money. I didn't do anything. I just kind of enjoyed myself that weekend. So that was definitely my high for February. My low was definitely the winter weather and just the winter blues in general. I found myself missing Florida weather really bad this month. It's warm right now, but the past 2 weeks we've had multiple snow days. It's been obviously below freezing. That makes me never want to leave the house, never want to open any windows, never want to do anything. So I'm like cooped up. I feel like I need some sun on my face. That was rough for me in February, I will say. I can like see the light at the end of the tunnel as the weather is starting to get warmer and as spring is almost here. I definitely went through the winter blues in February pretty bad. Before we set goals for March, I just want to reflect on our yearly goals and see if there's any that we've already met. A lot of these goals are not like check, they're done. A lot of them are about routine and being consistent and being intentional throughout the entire year. But a few of them on here I have actually already met, so we can check these off. Starting with my personal goals, my first goal was learn to bake sourdough, which yeah, I've done that. You guys have seen, it's all in my vlogs. I've been loving baking sourdough. I've been trying new recipes. It's a nice hobby to have. It keeps your mind kind of busy when you're working on it. I feel like I never really had hobbies before until like the past year or so when I got into reading and now baking. It's nice to have things to think about besides work. You know, learn to bake sourdough, we can check that off. Read 2 new series. I'm working on that. I'm about to finish the Crescent City series, which will be 1 new series, so I'm sure I'll be able to meet this. Try another book genre. That's my goal after Crescent City. I want to try something different, maybe like a thriller, maybe like a romance. I'm not sure yet, but after Crescent City, I'm gonna take a very short fantasy break and read like a standalone, I think. That's definitely a goal for March, is to try a new book genre. Find a way to give back more. I have been working on that. I've been giving back more monetarily recently, which I think is definitely a viable option, but it's something again that I just kind of want to work on for the whole year. So all of these other ones are things that are going to take the whole year to do, to make sure we're doing them consistently. Same thing with wellness goals for the year. These are all things about being consistent. So eating at home more, making bed every day, meal planning. I have been doing all of these things. Like I have been staying on track, but these are just monthly. Got to do it every single month. for me to feel like I can check these off at the end of the year. Financial goals, so far so good with these as well. I have been working on funding our emergency fund. I've been putting what I need to on my student loans. I've been doing one no spend week per month. It's only been 2 months, but we've been doing it. So far so good with the financial goals as well. Career goals. This one was funny. I set my yearly goals at like the beginning of December, and then literally the last week of December, I ended up getting a promotion. I was obviously not expecting because I set it as a goal for 2025, but I'm gonna check this off. Raise, promotion, beyond the standard. That was done. It was technically the end of 2024. It really all like got started, and I started kind of the new things in January. So to me, this is like a goal checked off, already done. Social media goals, we're working on them. I'm still doing one sit down video per month. I am trying to be more intentional with my vlogging. 4-figure brand deal. I am in talks on a 4-figure brand deal right now. I'm not sure if it's gonna go through or not because, you know, we're kind of going back and forth, negotiating, whatever. The fact that that's even in talks right now tells me that I could definitely get that in 2025. So I feel like we're making good progress on all the yearly goals. I've already checked off a couple of them. A lot of them we'll continue to work on every single month, but I'm feeling pretty good about them. This spreadsheet, by the way, is the CoPlenty goal and habit tracker. I also use their budget spreadsheet. I always have them linked in the description box if you are interested. I believe they sell them on Etsy as well as on their website, so I will have them linked down below. March goals. I like March. I feel like some people still associate March with winter. To me, March is like the beginning of spring. My birthday is also in March, so I feel like I have to like March. You know, March is like a good month for me. Starting with my personal goals, I want to read 2 books. I feel like this is my average on a monthly basis is about 2 books, depending on the books. You guys know I read a lot of fantasy. They're pretty thick books for the most part. Like some of them can be 1,000 pages. So I don't read like 10 books a month like some people do, but I think 2 is a pretty good goal for me. And in order to read 20 by the end of the year, I need to kind of keep up with that 2 a month consistency. Treat myself for my birthday. I don't know yet what I want to do for my birthday. I've been trying to figure it out. With the wedding coming up, I don't want to do anything big, but I'd like to treat myself in some way. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do like a pregame, have some friends over, a brunch, just buy myself something nice that I've been wanting. Not sure yet, but like I'm setting a goal to treat myself. Big apartment declutter. I'm excited about this one. I'm definitely gonna film it for you guys. With the spring starting, I wanna do like a big spring deep clean declutter. I wanna go through like every single drawer in my house. I want to clean out them all. I wanna go through our guest closet, which is like always the bane of my existence because I just cannot figure out how to get it organized in the best way. So that's definitely a goal for March, is to just literally go through my whole apartment, declutter, clean. I'm going to set aside like a whole weekend for this, and I'm looking forward to it. And like I said in the yearly goals, I just added this one in, try a new book genre. We're gonna try that after I finish the book I'm reading now, and then that way we can go ahead and also check off a yearly goal. If you set the goal for the month, that's a yearly goal, then you can go ahead and check that off. Wellness goals, again, these kind of just reflect my yearly goals. Work out 5 times a week, walk 3 times a week. I added more lunch break walks / get outside more, which I feel like is a wellness goal. I would like to utilize, while we are still apartment living, I'd like to utilize the pool if it gets warm enough. I'd like to just spend more time in the sunshine because I need it. I need that vitamin D. I need like the endorphins that it releases. And make bed daily. Again, this is a yearly goal, but I just like to write it down. It helps me be consistent, give me something to check off. Financial goals for March, no spend week. I'm trying to do this every single month this year. We've been going strong so far. I had the lowest no spend week of my life this month. I spent $20. It was like $22 for my low spend in February. That just tells me that I'm more than capable of doing that going forward. 500 on student loans. Again, that's just a yearly goal, but writing it down helps me out. Put money into emergency fund. I have a goal to fund the emergency fund up to $10,000 for the year, but transparently, I'm not putting money in it every single month. So in order to meet that goal, we got to start putting some money in it. At the end of every month, I'm putting my savings into our other savings account. We have like multiple accounts, but I would like to put some of that into the emergency fund this month because in order to reach that yearly goal, we got to start funding the emergency fund. And lastly, social media goals for the month of March. Post 8 times on YouTube. I talked about this in a vlog recently, but my goal every single month is 8 videos. So it's about 2 a week. But the past couple months, I think I've gotten more like 6 or 7. Just work has been really heavy lately, and I do have a lot of other things going on besides filming and editing and getting them up. I want to post 8. Like that's what I feel like is a good, consistent YouTuber schedule, is twice a week. Sometimes you have to give yourself a little bit of grace, which I've been been better about. So January, February, we posted a little bit less, but March, I really want to challenge myself to get up 8, especially because I know with the wedding months coming up, I'm not positive if 8 is going to happen. So April, May, June, not sure, because I, again, am gonna have a lot going on those months between wedding and then honeymoon. So March is like the last month that I'm like, okay, you can do this, get up 8 videos this month for sure. That I definitely want to make that a goal. I'd love to also do it in April, but we'll just have to see what happens. That's all my goals for March. I feel like they're well-rounded. They're not too hard. I don't like to set crazy challenging goals by any means, but they kind of revolve around what my everyday life looks like, and I feel like they're achievable, but they still stretch me a little bit. I want to talk to you guys about just a couple favorites that I have from the past couple months. First of all, my NuFace Mini. I got this little contraption for Christmas, but it's a microcurrent device, and basically once a day you're supposed to sculpt your face with it, and it's supposed to really help with tightening, lifting your face. It shoots microcurrents through your skin. You definitely can feel it. It's like a zappy feeling. If you don't have enough of the serum on, you can kind of feel it. I still feel like I'm early days with this. They say you have to use it consistently for like a couple months to really see any results, but I just like it because it's sturdy. I've been a big gua sha user for a long time now, which is the stone that you use to sculpt your face, and I've broken countless of those, so I was just happy to have something that's like sturdy. It still has that like sculpting capability, but it has a little something extra by sending those microcurrents through your face. So I'm really enjoying this thing. It's like kind of pricey, I will say, but if you're gonna be consistent with it, I feel like it's worth it. Next favorite, I got the Kindle Paperwhite. I have been loving this. I feel like I read faster using the Kindle. It's like the books don't feel like they end when I'm reading a series, because I literally will finish one and then I can just click open up the next one and continue reading. So it kind of just feels like all the books are just continuous. I like that I can lay in my bed on my side and read. I like that Will doesn't get mad at me at night because I have the lamp on because I'm reading so late and he wants to go to sleep. I love how portable it is. I can throw it in my backpack, bring it with me everywhere. I'm really enjoying it. I do at sometimes miss the sensation of like turning the pages in a physical book, so I'm sure I will read physical books sometimes, but I honestly can't believe I didn't have this because it is just so great for, like I said, travel, reading late at night, access to books with the Libby app. If you have a library card, the Libby app, great way to get free ebooks. So if you're a reader and you don't have a Kindle, I definitely suggest it. It makes reading just so much easier and more convenient, honestly. Lastly, for favorites, I'm back on my like self-help podcast life. I've been listening to the Mel Robbins podcast a lot. I do really like what she has to say. I agree with most things that I've heard her say, and sometimes you just need someone to be like hard on you, and that's kind of how she is. She's like, get it done, no excuses. Sometimes I need that, and I feel like especially in February with feeling not motivated and everything, I just kind of needed someone to like snap me out of it, and it's been really helpful. I'll link a few of the episodes down below that I have enjoyed so far. I am big on listening to podcasts while I'm working out. I feel like it's a great way to habit stack. I'm getting my workout in, but I'm also learning and growing myself as a person at the same time. So I guess this favorite would be like the Mel Robbins podcast, but also habit stacking and just spending more time ingesting intentional content and not just TikToks, vlogs. I love those things, and there's a time and a place for those, of course, but taking more time to listen and ingest content that's meant to grow you as a person has been good for me in February. So I want to keep that going in March as well. Honestly, just filming this video, I was already ready for March, but filming this video just makes me even more excited for a new month. Let's get into the budgeting portion of today's video. February was not my best month financially. I spent a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie, it was a very high spend month for a few reasons that I'll get into and I'll explain as we go through this. This was a month that I dipped into our savings account. I dipped into our sinking funds. I have a hard time doing that, I'm not gonna lie, but it's like that's what they're there for. But I try with all my heart to avoid taking money out of my savings account. I have a few different savings accounts. I have one that is joint with Will, and we use this for our future is kind of what we call it. Right now it's mainly wedding, but after the wedding it'll be honeymoon, and then after honeymoon, you know, it'll be our future, like house, car. Whenever we decide we want those things, you know, we are saving for these things. So that's our like life savings account. And then I have a couple on my own. I have one that's like my fun savings account, and this is for beauty treatments, or if my girls want to do a trip last minute. I always have that funded to pull money out of that. And then the last one I have is my tax savings account. This is, I put 30% of all my YouTube income into that tax account. So when I have to pay taxes every year, I can just take the money out of that tax account. I did take some money out of both my beauty fund sinking fund and my tax sinking fund. Again, I just tell myself that's why I save. At the end of every single month, I usually have money left over that I put into those accounts for this exact reason. So I feel like I need to work on that guilt. Like I save pretty much every month. It's very rare that I actually have to use my sinking fund. I need to like work on that guilt complex of using the fund that I literally have for a reason. So anyway, let's go through our February budget and we'll set up March's as well. Rent this month was 27% of my spending. Rent is pretty much always my highest one. It was $14.19.27 this month. Wedding, high spend this month, $1,057.80. This is because I bought our flowers that we're going to be renting and using for the wedding. I went ahead and placed that order. So that's kind of where the majority of that wedding expense comes from. All of our final payments for the wedding are due around like April 1st. So that's going to be a crazy looking budget when I start paying all of those final deposits. I will say that. Just because I'm paying it doesn't mean that I had that income, right? That this is money that's been set aside for a year now to pay these things. So just because in April, if it says I spent $20,000, it's not because obviously I had $20,000. It's because this money came from sinking funds. Beauty, this was another big one, $778.79. This is why I took money out of my fun sinking fund. I got microneedling done this month, which was $400. I also got a chemical peel at the beginning of the month, which was $160. And I restocked on my Nutrafol, which is a vitamin for hair, and that was $218. So definitely some big beauty expenses this month. I've noticed just looking over past budgets that I spend a lot on beauty. I definitely do. I definitely invest in myself in that way. Taxes, another one, $503. I did have to take money out of sinking fund for this, but that's what it's for, Krista. That's what it's for. I paid to file my taxes. I had to pay $140 to file them, and then I owed around $400 to the government. So I paid them $400. So that comes up to $503 was the total. Student loans, as always, I put $500 on them. Shopping miscellaneous, $351. I had to buy a bridesmaid dress that I'm in a wedding for. I bought a wedding guest dress for a wedding I went to on Valentine's Day weekend. I bought my Kindle for $145. So that's where the shopping miscellaneous comes from. Car insurance, normal, gifts and donations. I bought a wedding gift for the wedding that we went to. So that's what that was, $125 for that. Groceries, I only spent $145. As you guys know, Will does buy the majority of our groceries, which obviously helps me out a lot every single month. AT&T phone, $95. Travel, $68.94. This is for when we were in Charleston. We had to take a few Ubers and I called like a couple of them for $68.94. Pet insurance, normal at $67.50. Gym, normal at $59. Pets, $48.75. This is low because I did not have to buy dog food this month. I had enough that I didn't need to buy dog food, but I did buy cat food. So $48.75 for that. Dining out in bars, super low, $31.53. Again, Will does tend to cover me for most of those things. Car, $22.09. I had to buy gas for our drive to Charleston. Coffee, $16.95. Uber and Lyft, $4.75. I put the Ubers that I took in Charleston in the travel section, and then any other Uber that I took at home, $4.75. And iCloud, $2.99. So this brings our total expenses for the month to $5,383.37. This is like $2,000 more than I spent in January. So definitely a higher spend month, but I think with just the wedding coming up, we're starting to pay for things, starting to buy more things, plus filing my taxes. So it was a higher spend month. And unfortunately, I think that's going to be the pattern for the next few months as we get through the wedding and the honeymoon. But again, we've prepped for this. I don't need to feel guilty about it because this is like, we've been planning for this for literally over a year. So I just need to kind of be excited about it. March budget, let's get into it. For bills, nothing's going to change there. I have already paid my rent, so I knew how much that would be. But for car insurance, phone, pet insurance, gym, iCloud, if you've watched these videos, those are my monthly bills. Nothing's changing. Same with my debt, my student loans. I'm budgeting $500. That's standard for me. And then getting into our expenses for groceries, I'm gonna budget $200. You saw I only spent $100 this month. We'll see if we can keep it down to under $200. Dining out in bars, $100. Again, I only spent like $40 on that this month, so I feel like this is fair. Car, $150. This is high. I think I need need an oil change and an inspection this month. My tags expired. So usually I only budget $50 for car, but I'm gonna do $150 to go do those adult things that I have to do. Shopping miscellaneous, $50. I'd like to keep this as low as I can just because I'm gonna be shopping for other things this month that I don't need to shop for miscellaneous. So I'm gonna be shopping for weddings, so I don't need to shop for pretty much anything else. Home, 0. I don't think we need anything for the apartment. Gifts and donations, 100. I have a baby shower this month for one of my like favorite people, and I want to make her a nice gift. So I honestly might spend more than that, but I'm gonna put it at 100 and we'll just see what I find. I definitely would like to kind of get her a good gift. She hasn't sent out her registry yet, so I'm not sure what's on it, but this might end up being a little bit higher. Pets, 140. This is for Franklin's dog food. That tends to be what I spend on him every month. Health and medical, 50. I already know I have a doctor bill because I had a dermatologist appointment this month, and I know that's 40. So I know I'm gonna need to pay that. And then my medication is usually $5. So I'm hoping we can keep it under 50 for the month. Coffee, 20. This usually allows me to get like 2 to 3 coffees out over the span of the month. Beauty, 300. I'm finally going back to getting my nails done this month. I'm excited. I've missed them. I saw photos of me with my nails done the other day and I was like, wow, those look amazing. I've taken a good 3 months off, maybe about 3 months, I think, but I am back on it this month because my bridal shower is at the end of the month and I want to have my nails done for that. Nails, and I also have a hydrofacial this month. We're doing a hydrofacial before my bridal shower to kind of test it out, make sure my skin reacts properly to it, and then as long as it does, that's what we'll plan to do before the wedding. So 300 for beauty this month. Uber and Lyft, 30. Just standard. We take a lot of Ubers and Lyfts, honestly. I notice other people don't really have that in their budget, but like we use it so much with going out and doing things. Travel, 350. This is obviously a little bit high, but I need to buy a plane ticket for a wedding that we're going to in May. I think I'm gonna try to buy it this month. If I don't buy it this month, it'll be bought in April, but I am watching the flight prices right now, so if they drop, I will be purchasing that ticket. Just kind of, we're on the hunt right now. Social activities, 50. Wedding, 135. Taxes, I always budget 0 for taxes. How much I spend depends on how much comes in. So how much I get from social media, 30% goes into savings. That's where we are. Wedding, honestly, will probably also be higher, but I was only budgeting with my spending limit, which my spending limit for the month is $4,000. So all I had left to throw in wedding was $135. But again, if we have things for the wedding that I have to buy, I can take it out of my savings account. It doesn't necessarily have to come from my income, but that's why I have it at $135. I honestly also love setting my budget for the month because it reminds me of like what I have coming up this month. I'm like, oh yeah, my bridal shower, my friend's baby shower, just like buying a flight, just kind of fun, exciting things coming up, and budgeting for these things reminds me of them. Someone asked me how we're saving and planning for our honeymoon, which I wanted to touch on. We're going on our honeymoon in June for 2 full weeks. I am gonna do a full budgeting video for the honeymoon, probably after, on like what we actually ended up spending. We obviously have our wedding savings account that you all know of. We have gone above our wedding goal at this point. So whatever we have left in the account is basically going to be for the honeymoon. We also were able to pretty much buy all of our hotels for the honeymoon through credit card points. So that was amazing. Didn't really have to budget anything for that. But yeah, just touching on that, we are saving. It's just in our kind of our life savings account for the honeymoon, and with the help of credit card points, we've been able to do it pretty, in my opinion, affordable for the trip that we're going on. Always saving, always thinking of the next thing, but also trying to give myself grace, live my life, and enjoy the things that I save for. I think this is where I'm gonna call it for the March plan with me. I hope this got you excited for spring. I hope it maybe inspired you to set a few goals for the new month. Lots of fun vlogs coming in March. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you so very soon in my next one. Bye guys.